Hey, what's up everybody, this is Dumpster Cat. Welcome back to another Pioneer video. In this one, we do have the Rock once again. We're playing a Mox Amber build that I kind of brewed up recently and have been testing on Magic Online and Arena to some pretty nice success, and it's really fun to play. The thinking behind this is we're already playing 4 Glissa, 4 Shieldred, and then of course some number of Lilianas in the main deck, and so with that number of legendary creatures and planeswalkers, I feel like Mox Amber it would be a pretty interesting inclusion. And I know at the beginning of the Pioneer format, there were a lot of Lurrus builds of the Rock that played Mox Amber as well, where you would go like, turn 3 Lurrus, immediately play Mox Amber and cast like a 1-drop from your graveyard, or a Thoughtseize, a Fatal Push, something like that. And of course, we don't have access to Lurrus or, those types of power level creeps in Pioneer at the moment. But we do have some pretty interesting lines we could go through, similar to that, where we could go like turn 3 Glissa, Mox Amber, Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, something like that. Even with having access to 3 Chevels in the main deck, which has always been a card on my radar, has always been a card that I do like, but is kind of dependent on where the meta is at. And I think it's pretty decent in the meta right now. We are seeing a lot of aggro and a lot of mid-range, so I do not mind having the 3 Chevels. I would never play 4 of this card, but still like having access to 3, and so going like turn 2 Chevel into a Thoughtseize off the Mox Amber is just really nice, and really nice tempo swings. It's not the best in terms of card advantage because we are playing a lot of our hand. If say we go turn 3 Glissa, Mox Amber, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, something that's 3 cards, right? So it is a lot of resources. But if we are able to kind of swing the tempo in our favor just a bit, it can be worthwhile, of course. Of course, the downsides of playing Mox Amber is that it's a terrible top deck in a lot of cases. It has some really insane starts I found, of course, with those sequences that I kind of laid out for you guys. And, those have been really good for me. But, of course, and the downside of it being just a really bad top deck is present. However, I think just including them as the lands 24 and 25 should kind of mitigate that just a bit. I'm not completely sure. I haven't been testing too much, but hopefully we'll be able to have some decent success with the numbers here. Sideboard hasn't changed too much. I like my Path of Pearls. Went down to 1 Golgari Charm. Still like this card. Still want to test it some more, but I think Path of Pearl may just be a bit better. Suspect cards right now are Noxious Grasp and Pithing Needle. I've always liked having 2 events, 1 needle for mono green. I haven't seen mono green in forever, so it's kind of hard to say. I feel like if we do see it, which is inevitable at some point, it is Pioneer. I do like having access to these cards, and of course Noxious Grasp does come in against them as well. But yeah, haven't been seeing mono green too much, but I think I like the sideboard as is nonetheless. And yeah, with that being said, of course, consider subscribing if you do enjoy this type of content. Check out the Patreon if you like to, and I'll see you guys for the matches. Alright, here we are for match number 1. We're on the draw with this hand that we can keep, I think, on the draw. Have a few nice 1-mana interactive spells, which we like to see. Sanctum is either Spirit or Lotus Field. If it is Lotus Field, we have Duress, Go Blank, Needle. No Necromancers though. Terror Sunder could be better than certain cards. Okay, so we drew Blooming Marsh, which was pretty much a perfect draw. See what they got going. Okay, so it is Lotus Field. I guess, with Liliana and Shieldred, we have pretty good game plan going for us here. I think this is a pretty easy Sylvan Scrying take. Really fortunate enough to draw that Blooming Marsh then. Oh, they're playing opposite, which is a little interesting. Go bottom. Or else they would have been able to cast that on turn 2. Voyaging State. Okay, perfect. We could kill that. Using these Fatal Pushes, which are otherwise pretty bad in the matchup. And I suppose we could just go with a Deathcap Glade tapped. Liliana plus Shieldred. Yeah, pretty nice game plan going here. And Vizier, okay. So they have these 3 cards in hand. Another Thoughtseize is pretty decent. I think we're just going to go for a Liliana minus here. We could go like Thoughtseize, Trophy, Vizier, take the Pour. But they're not going to have the mana for Pour anyways next turn, so let's just go Edict here. Really feels nice to be back on the rock. Haven't been playing too often. Just got off a little trip, which was very nice. Let's start with a plus. I think I'm going to put away this Power Word Kill. Trophy could hit like an Omniscience or something. They discard Phillip. Let's just go with Thoughtseize. Hidden Strings or Pour. Let's just take this Pour. And pass turn. They don't copy anything. Okay. Still looking to hit that 4th land for Shieldred, and then that should be like pretty much game over if I had to imagine. Okay. Or just now it is. Liliana's going to take over the game. Nonetheless, I suppose. Okay, so we do get Duress and Needle. Go Blank is decent as well. Tear Sunder could be fine. Even Tracker could be fine as like just a 3/2 creature. Golgari Charm does nothing, right? Yeah. Let's see, cards we don't really want. I think Bloodchief's Thirst and then like some number of push. I think like on average, I don't know. I guess we probably just want a mix of like 1 and 2 mana removal spells. The last up was pretty bad as well. Seems fine, kind of like this. Yeah. Seeing the Voyaging Satyr, I don't mind having 3 push. And then Power Word Kill can be good against Leer and the Vizier. And Trophy's just good overall. This is not the best hand against them. I think we're going to mulligan. Okay. Yeah, Chevo is another one that's not the best in this matchup. But can have like some interestingly weird good lineups if they do have the, like the Voyaging Satyr or whatever draws. Otherwise this hand is, just relying on Duress. Which here, with double Sylvan Scrying, it's not going to be the best. I guess here we either take the Balaget or Pour. I think it's going to be pretty bad either way. I'm just going to take the Pour of the Pages to slow them down just a bit. Of course, in the long game, the Balaget is going to, make that choice pretty much invalid. But I think we just kind of need some time here to get some sort of advantage going. Glissa was a decent draw. I don't mind that. Unfortunately, they don't have any creatures. Yeah, Chevo could definitely be a cut. It's just kind of hard to, know what we would want to bring in. So they get another Thespian Stage. I guess just like more removal. Of course, not having Necromancer, Diving Sphere does make this matchup a little difficult, but it's okay. They do this main phase, play around Trophy or whatever. which makes sense. And then we do really need to hit something good here. Shield Raid, Thoughtseize Duress. Yeah. Third Glissa is probably not gonna do it. Guess we can just play Castle tapped and pass. And we're probably dead here. Okay, they're just passing. May have one more turn to try to interact with them. Even if we do draw Shielded, though, they just have Odawara, which they actually may cast now. No, okay. Okay. A little unlucky here. Of course, we didn't keep the best hand, though. You know, I mean, like, going down to 5 is pretty difficult as well, so it's tough to say what the best decision would have been. So I still don't play Odawara. Or don't channel it. There it is. Okay. So, should be able to go off here. Oh, wow, okay. Draw 4. Draw 14, or draw 7, up to 13. If only we had like a Terra Sunder or Assassin's Trophy. I guess, yeah, probably would want the Terra Sunders. Did we not bring them in? We did not, okay. Yeah, so we'll change some things up post side for game 3. I'm guessing we're pretty dead here. Just concede. Okay, let's just take out these Chevels. I think add in Tracker and then Terra Sunders. Could even bring in Bankbuster. For like a Scooz, like not the best. Again, I think the removal numbers are fine, although they may be a bit too much, and it's kind of, as we saw there, you know, we had the removal, but they didn't have the creatures early on. This hand is interesting. I could get behind it. No legendary creature for Mox Hammer, but we do have Liliana for it, which can be relevant to put up mulligans as well. No targeted discard, but I think with the Liliana and Shieldred, we, you know, I think that's a good enough of a game plan, especially on the play. Okay, let's just go with a Wayfinder, and typically I just hold my Mox Amber if we're not playing against Rakdos. Adds a bit of a surprise factor, I've found, which can be decent. Okay, Lotus Field. It's a good one for them, of course. Okay. Pithing Needle. Do like that one. And then let's just go Liliana. And here I think discarding Push makes sense. Discard Pidgeot, okay. Okay, Lotus Field. And just nothing else. Yep, okay. So here, part of the reason we could keep a Needle on top is because we do have the Amber as basically 4th land for Shieldred. So I think here, let's start by attacking, get a bit more information, get that swamp back, which is perfect. I think we do just discard Terrace under here. Of course, hurts if they do have the stage lined up already, as we would be a turn late casting it. But I think, Shieldred Liliana, this should be a pretty potent start for us. Should be pretty difficult for them to interact with. Start with the Vizier, okay. Stage, copy. Okay. Ooh, into Hidden Strings, wow. Okay, so this is pretty scary. Wow, are they just gonna win here? Jeez, that would be pretty insane. Through Liliana and Shieldred. Maybe going Needle there was correct. Yeah, there's the ultimatum. Jeez. I don't think it was correct, but obviously with this sequence, it would have been very good. I do think we just slammed Shieldred there, though. Pretty unfortunate that they had this all wrapped up. We do have Shieldred still on the battlefield, so they can only draw 6 cards. We have that at least going for us. Or I guess 5 cards, right? And their graveyard isn't doing much in terms of card advantage, so if they get Lear... Oh, they get Chandra. Wow. Okay, so that could copy stuff. I think I just... Like, if we... I think I'd want to not give them Dark Petition. And then just give them the Pour, which will deal them 6 damage. And then they can't... They have to stack it, so Chandra resolves after the Pour, or else they're dead, right? I think giving them Dark Petition is just too bad for us. Yeah. So stack it like this. It takes 6. They definitely need to find like Odawara. I was thinking like we could name Odawara on the turn after if we had the chance with Needle to mitigate something like this happening. But they have 3 cards in hand. They discarded a Temple of Mystery. Can only draw 2 more cards. They do have this though, which can kill Shieldred. Yeah. Oh, and Liliana. Okay. Wow, yeah. So maybe I guess I didn't really see that there. They could just kill Shieldred. Maybe it's tough to say. I think giving them Dark Petition is just really bad for us. But maybe technically we should have gone for Chandra, because that obviously just kills Shieldred. I've just never seen this before in Lotus Field, so tough to say. Unfortunate though that they did just have that all wrapped up there through Liliana and Shieldred. Always kind of feels bad when stuff like this happens, but it's okay. What do they Dark Petition for though? Would they have mana for an Omniscience if they go for that? I'm not completely sure. Don't quite remember. So these sea area restorations are so funny. I think we do just give them the Seagate and Dark Petition though. Okay. I guess, yeah, force them to do that. But yeah, we're just pretty dead here. Yeah, I'm not sure if we could have done anything different. I guess just giving them Dark Petition would have been more correct. But I feel like just, yeah, I mean, I guess it would have been correct. But just like as a 6 mana, like, removal spell for Shieldred, I feel like that was pretty bad. But maybe that was just their pathway to victory, so it didn't really matter how bad that removal spell was for them. Yeah, I think I'll concede here. A little tough, especially with no Necromunches post side, but it's okay. And see you guys for the next one. Okay, match number 2 on the play. Looking back at that match 1, we could keep this. We do have a pretty bad main deck against them with the Chevels, and made that notable mistake of keeping them in post board. Oh boy, Nalaar. Okay, so played against this before. 2, 3. I think I may just take the Ren's Resolve here. Yeah, take the Ren's Resolve. Could push the Pia, have other removal spells for Swifty. I guess we probably push Swifty, right? Liliana does seem pretty nice though in this matchup. Okay, so we can't double spell here with Force and Deathcap Glade. Man, I even cut one of these for the 4th Blooming Marsh. So next turn they just go Pia Nalaar, right? So I guess I will just play Force and pass. And then we probably just power would kill Pia Nalaar. This does seem like a matchup where the Last Hope is pretty decent. Although, this card can just really go crazy in their deck. So it's just pretty much a must answer threat. Trespasser. Okay, I think let's just go for Liliana here. I guess, well, I don't know. Would Of the Veil be better here? Because they could just stomp it after an edict. Unfortunate. Oh wow, that was a really nice draw. Start with the Thoughtseize, Reckless Impulse, and Bone Crusher. Okay, let's take that Reckless Impulse. Showdown on the squad's just so good against us. So they'll probably just cast that next turn. So let's just go plus and Trespasser. Maybe we take Bone Crusher there, because they do just have this showdown anyways for the exile effect. But I think I don't mind taking it. Bone Crusher's not too good here. Shieldred. Oh, wow. Okay. I could kind of get behind that. Just plus and cast Shieldred. Mox Cyber has been really good so far. So they exiled another 2 showdowns. So actually that was really good for us. Okay, I didn't even notice that at first. Yeah, I think just leaving up push is a bit too underwhelming. So let's just play Shieldred. No attacks, of course. But push is pretty attractive there as well. So they play Mountain from Exile, and then do they... Oh, they have like... They top deck the chain, or had to change the rocks, seriously? Man, that's really unfortunate, jeez. Wow. Where's my Thoughtseize when they had that in hand? Come on. And they go... Second showdown, okay. Man, that's really unfortunate. Both at me, too. Jeez. That's pretty aggressive. Just drawing a swamp. It's not good. So they have Kumano, and it runs Resolve. Okay, I guess we still plus. And just pass. Flip Trespasser. They're gonna get some pretty big creatures here, though. These showdowns are just very difficult for us to deal with. If they didn't have that change to the rocks, then we would be in pretty decent shape, I would imagine. Especially like holding up push this turn. We would be able to... I guess we wouldn't be able to block his stomp, but we could still stabilize. Okay. Ooh, Soul Scar plus Stomp. That's really good. So we do have to block, or else we're just dead to the Stomp. Another Trespasser. Okay. We're very likely dead, but just play it out a bit longer here. This is just I mean, like, if we're able to keep the board clear, this is like a decent matchup, and I think Chevel helps out a bunch. They just had really good draw against us with the showdowns and the chain to the rocks. Really well timed. We do have 5 Wrath effects we could bring in, though. think, yeah, we're not dead actually. Okay, now we're dead. Okay, post side, as I said, matchup gets a little better for us. So we get these 5 wrath effects. I think that's probably about it. Think on the play could probably keep maybe 1 Thoughtseize. It's good against Showdown, the exile effects, and change the rocks sometimes. But otherwise, the life loss is not the best, of course. Liliana of the Veil is not ideal either. Yeah, I think even on the play, I don't really want to see her. And then otherwise, we just have a really nice game plan of keeping the board as clear as possible, which, you know, one would think would be good enough, but on the rock, anything is questionable, right? Okay, that's a mulligan. Okay, it's a bit better, not really the best hand in this matchup, but we could keep it at least. Opponent keeps 7. Okay, no removal spell in hand, so we just have to take Pia. Extinction event, okay, that's not bad. Think let's play Besage because I want to be able to put this on black if I need to. Oh, they don't play a Reckless Impulse. Okay. Let's play that on black and play Glissa. They don't play like Lightning Strike, do they? Don't think so. I have Stomp. Stomp me. Yeah, okay. Okay. Sure. Let's attack. Land? No. Okay. So I have a bunch of removal. Land would have been really ideal there, of course. Oh, these both not there, right? Don't know why they play their land first, but they have that going for them. I think I'm just gonna kill both of these. Don't really want to Extinction Event, of course, with the Glissa. Okay, there is the land. Very nice. I think I will attack first, despite, you know, being able to gain life off Shield Druid if we cast it pre-combat, but just want to get a little more information. Okay. Put that on green for Scoos and slam Shield Druid. So they didn't have Change of the Rocks last turn, so I don't think they would have it this turn unless they impulse into it. Ooh, Pia. Okay. Oh, that's a land too? Whoa, I didn't even realize that. Showdown. Ooh, okay. But nothing else? Okay. So I think let's just immediately get that off the battlefield. Swing in. They blocked the shield, dude. What the heck? Okay. Fine by me. And yeah, of course, Trespasser was really good there. Showdown. Change the Rocks, Bone Crusher. Okay. So I haven't seen any roasts, but I would imagine they'd bring them in. Or they would have access to them, right? So on the draw now, so Thoughtseize could maybe be a cut. I don't think Terror Thunder for like Showdown is good. I mean Thoughtseize is just like better in that case, right? So I think this is fine. Okay, I mean mono removal, we'll keep it. Would love to see them not have a turn 1 play. Okay, spoke too soon. If they just have a PN here, then it's pretty fine. Oh, Invasion of Gobakan. Okay, I feel like this is a card that I don't really mind them having. Take my Shieldridge or whatever. Like, if they're doing this, then as opposed to playing a creature, I think I'm like definitely fine with that. This is down to 1 defense though now. This is not even that good. Oh, I guess the sack is pretty decent though. Okay. So could have potentially just Blood Chief's Thirst to be mana efficient there on our turn. So let's go for throw this though. Okay, into a Nalaar. And a Kumano. Okay. That's not the worst. I do like Wayfinder there. So we could just go Blood Chief's Thirst and play Wayfinder. Of course, we're gonna have like the classic Extinction Event problem where we have it plus a bunch of removal, so it's not as good as it, you know, can be or would sometimes be. But it's still okay. Where's my Path of Pearls? I love that card so much. Okay. So they could potentially get the invasion flipped here. Change the rocks. Okay, I think I'm definitely okay with them using this on my Wayfinder. Only to flip their invasion. I guess this is a pretty decent card though. Pretty good tempo, and then acts as like a removal spell. Whatever. Nullifier, right? And buffs up the creatures. Just 1 card in hand though. Could literally just play Extinction Event here. So this is 4 mana, right? Yeah. Oh, sorry, 6 mana. My bad. Yeah, I think I just want to be mana efficient. Well, this is gonna flip. Okay. We could also just trophy this. Which may be a bit better. Not probably making them sacrifices is better. Wow, that's a really good draw. Okay. Soul Scar and Nalaar. Okay. So I'm guessing they do play the Soul Scar post combat. We're gonna take 6, but we do have a pretty nice Extinction Event next turn. Okay, So I think we just let this happen. Oh, they don't play Soulscar. Why do they have to be aware of Wrath of X like that? So let's go odd, of course. Man, these cards are so good against us. So just gonna play 2 creatures here. Yeah, that's so good. Okay, well, push is a nice one for us. I think we for sure just go like that and play Scoos. Potentially like eating right away there is correct though, in case they have a play with fire or stomp. That could be good alongside Soulscar Mage. But them just having like 3 lands here and just like drawing like infinite gas off the top is definitely a problem. It's definitely what seems like is happening here. Path of Peril. Okay, Fatal Push is decent, at the very least. They just attack with... What the heck? What? Okay, I'll take that. What do they think I have? Are they just seriously reading me for this trophy? Glissa, okay. So with them putting Giganta in hand, I think I'm fine just saving trophy here. Although they do just have 3 lands. Could have trophied the Sacred Foundry to get back Scoos, which could have been a bit better. Yeah, I actually kind of like that line a bit more. So they have Giganta and 2 unknowns in hand. This Thopter is actually kind of a problem. They're swinging in with everything though. What do they have? Stomp, yeah. So we're down to what, 1? Yeah. Shieldred. Okay. So we're gonna have to trophy this Thopter, but we're dead to so many spells here. Yeah, I think trophying that Sacred Foundry to get back Scoos would have been a lot better than saving it. I don't know why I thought we would need it for Giganta because they just have 3 lands. Okay, they're just playing their Bone Crusher though. Don't know why they did that pre-combat. Oh, we could do it right now actually. Yeah, let's do that. This makes us dead to a play with fire, but I think let's go for that. And yeah, Scoos can definitely be a representation of us getting back in the game. 2 Swifties, nothing on our end. Ooh, that's not a good draw. So, do we play Shieldred here? We're going down to 1 no matter what. If they had to play with Fire Stomp, they would have already cast it. So I think we do go for Shieldred. Or else we're putting this as a 6/6 going up to 4, down to 3. I think we have to play Shieldred to have a winning chance at this game. So let's do that. Even if they have removal spell, we're still alive. Showdown, okay. That's pretty scary. They get Pia and Kumano and land. So they could go. Oh, we're just dead. Land plus Kumano. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Wow. Okay, that's really sad. Dang. Tough stuff. I think this is a really close matchup for us. I think having Cheval just makes this a lot better. We didn't see it any of the games this match, which is really unfortunate. But having access to that, the Scoos was really nice here. Shielded, of course. Yeah, tough matchup though. I think just keeping the board as clear as possible is what we want to be doing, and then trying to dodge the showdowns is pretty important. I think having the one Thoughtseize post board is good in these cases where we want to be getting the showdown out of hand. Plus these exile effects are just really good against us, so I feel like the one Thoughtseize is fine. Although here, obviously, it was not the best top deck. That's okay. We're gonna be learning from these things, and see you guys for the next one. Okay, match number 3. Could keep this hand on the draw. Let's try to turn some things around here. We had 2 really close matches, so I don't mind losing those, although it does hurt, of course. Okay. Mono White should hopefully be a decent matchup for us. I think I'll keep Fatal Push open, although we could have thirsted there. And I think I will just Blood Chief's Thirst this. They could have like Brutal Cathar for a Wayfinder if we go down that route. Okay, just a Lieutenant is very good for us. Thoughtseize surprisingly wasn't a bad draw either. Makes us be able to double spell here. Okay. Huh. I guess I'll take this Ossification and go Wayfinder. Leave them with 2 3-mana spells that they potentially can't cast, and don't really care that much about this Bodyguard. Worst case scenario, if they do hit 3rd land, we could just power word kill whatever they want to be playing, which probably would be the Brutal Cathar, right? Okay. So let's attack. Fatal Push. Yeah, I'll keep that on top. Despite not hitting our land drops. And that not being a land, Fatal Push is still really, really good here, of course. Okay, no 3rd land yet. And no attacks, okay. So let's just start with pushing Lieutenant. They do this, and then we can just go like this. Perfect. And that, yeah, that's a definitely keep that on top. Okay, just the officer. Still no third land, of course. This is great for us. Ooh, I do like that Liliana. Don't think it matters, but we exile game 1, although post board they do have, sometimes have, ooh, what's it called? The 3 mana one that gets back creatures with mana value 2 or less. Okay, let's go Liliana Edict first. Okay, now kill this. And I'll just see if they want to trade here. No, okay. Yeah, okay. Pretty intuitive game there. Okay, and we do get a lot of good cards post side. Even Terror Sunder is really good with Ossification and then Wedding Announcement. Post board, wow, Golgari Charm is not bad either. Let's cut all Thought Seizes, of course. On the draw, I think I'm going to cut my Liliana of the Veils. The last up was really good though. Could trim Glissa, maybe a Mox Amber, but I think it's probably just a Wayfinder. I think having 4 Shield Roots is still fine, although we could get some awkward draws. Still good, because, you know, they do still have, like, the Ossifications and the Brutal Clotharis. That is good in multiples, right? Okay. Nice hand. It's a really nice land. Ooh, there's that charm. Okay. See if we can get to use it this game. This card is so sweet. Vanguard, okay. And let's get our boy Chevel out here. Man, I would not mind looking like Chevel, you know, when I get older, for sure. Okay, lands, perfect. So I think I'm just gonna hold up removal here. Could just play out second Chevel, but yeah, I'm just gonna plan to Power Word kill during combat. Could have done a main phase to get around this flipping and a potential Brave the Elements. But I think I'm going to go for the surprise factor here. Also holding up, you know, Charm and Terror Sunder in case we need it. Though I think that's pretty... It's not going to happen. Pretty unlikely to happen. Yes. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely fine with them making this play. Okay, there's that wedding announcement. So get 1 token. I think let's start by getting the Vanguard off the board, right? Okay, yeah, beautiful draw. Allows us to not try to have to find a land off of the Cheval to play Terrace Under, which we didn't, so it's good. And let's just pass. And now Cheval is just going to be able to control the board, which is very nice, of course. What is this from? I don't even know. Okay, it's fine. So if they attack here, I'm just going to be, yeah, killing this. And then not using Terrace Under a Charm on the wedding announcement, and just planning to charm -1/-1 on the tokens if we you know, need to do that. Okay, even like this is like so good for us here, man. And I think I finally will Terrace Under this. Man, Cheval just plus mana removal spells, which is basically your deck, right? Is just so good against a mono wave. Rest in peace. Sure, be my guest. And Thalia. Okay. Go like that. So yeah, Cheval, alright, sorry, Rest in Peace does turn off Cheval. So we may be wanting to charm that, potentially. Another one, okay. I actually didn't think of that interaction there, it's pretty cool. Let's put counter on the Vanguard, I think. Okay, land is really nice. We can just go Path of Peril and then play Wayfinder. Otherwise, we're charming Rest in Peace, playing Wayfinder. I think I don't mind trying to continue to get value off of the Cheval, despite you know, playing the Wayfinder making her Wrath of Hex worse. But it could be correct to just Path of Peril there and play Wayfinder after and just say like, okay, we got our value off of Cheval already. But you know, worst case scenario, we do just have Path of Peril anyways after the fact. Okay, they're just going in here. I guess with this, I'll get my value here. And then Path of Peril. Ooh, go for the throat's nice as well. I mean, now, like, we could just... Oh, Trespasser on top as well. Jeez, we could just go for the throat with Thalia. Yeah, because if we, like, Event or Path of Peril, they just have a 3/3 Mutavault. Which I guess is fine. Yeah, let's just Path of Peril here. Because we could just go for the throat this. And then having knowing Trespasser on top is on top. I think this should be fine. And then if they're just going to do this, then I'll kill the Adeline. And then no cards in hand, I think we should be in pretty decent shape. Trespasser should take over this game. Even like top deck Brutal Cathar Ossification doesn't do it because of Ward. Ooh, I should have taken a 2-drop. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty simple gameplay here. Let's take this fan. Let's take Lieutenant. Cheval, Trespasser, Shielder plus mono removal. Seems like a pretty good game plan against mono white. Yeah, definitely not worried about this matchup. Haven't been in a long time. Love to see it. Of course, with Cheval, it's just that much better. And yeah, see you guys for the next one. Okay, here we are for match number 4 on the draw. Elvish Mystic, okay. I guess could have played Castle taps there. Fight rigging, okay, sweet. Okay, so I think I just want to hold up my removal here. Thoughtseize could be good, but they could potentially have 2 6-power creatures. So I guess we could also just Besage you. No, we can't Besage you. Yes, let's just go play Besage you. Pass. They had a really good start though. This is definitely the start you want when you're playing fight rigging. Next turn we could go Glissa into Thoughtseize with Mox Amber, which is really sweet. Part of the reason also why I didn't play Thoughtseize last turn. I have Invasion of Ixalan, which is a pretty interesting one. Wasn't really expecting this, to be honest. I get just a permanent card. Find Blooming Marsh. Another elf. Okay. Okay, and now I think I'm just gonna kill this. Could have also trophied the fight rigging, which maybe could have been a bit better. Pre-combat. Yeah, I think this should be fine. Especially because we could, you know, potentially just Glissa it down the line. Ooh, okay, so they do have, yikes, they do have 2 6-power creatures. So I guess I'll take Desecration Demon? Or Archfiend? Not sure which I'm more afraid of. The long term. I think in the long term I'm a bit more afraid of Desecration Demon. So take that. But yeah, it could potentially have been a misplay to not just trophy fight rigging there. I was thinking, okay, because I've never seen fight rigging decks play 4-drops. They've always played Rotting Regisaur and Shakedown Heavy as their cards they want to be using with fight rigging. So that just kind of completely threw me off guard there. But I guess we'll see what they're able to hit. A storm. Okay. Okay, metamorphic alteration, so we're just dead here, right? Wow. Was not expecting to see this type of combo. Okay. Yeah, wow, impressive. So this is a new combo that came out of one of the recent, was the GP or whatever they're called nowadays. I think this was played in like a Demir Grixis deck. I definitely was not expecting. I mean, I guess seeing Archfiend makes sense that they would have the alteration, but I definitely was not. That was definitely not on my radar when I saw fight rigging. Okay, well at least now we know the matchup, and it should be a lot easier. We get our Tire Sunders and Charm. Grasp, not good. Duress, no. Needle, no. I think we should have a pretty decent matchup. Scoos and like Chevel is probably not too ideal. Liliana is good. Yeah, I think this should be fine. Could potentially bring in Tracker as well. For Chevel. One Chevel. Cutting Chevels makes Mox Ember worse, but as we saw in last game, it was pretty fine. Okay, this is a really nice hand. We just need to hit land number 3, and this is really nice for us. Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna Bloodchief's Thirst this. Bloodchief's Thirst has been pretty decent so far. Oh, I actually could have gone Power Kill, and then this turn we could go Glissa, Mox Amber, Bloodchief's Thirst, but we could just go Liliana here and be satisfied. More than satisfied, actually. And holding Mox Amber, but they could have Thoughtseize, so that could have been not correct. Don't think it matters that much though. Okay, so they get their fight rigging. Let's start with a plus. I think I'm going to put back a castle, so we could go Glissa, hold up Powered Kill this turn. Storm of the Festival, okay. Yeah, Mox Amber has just been really, really sweet for us so far. Thoughtseize. Okay, so let's see if they run the 3-drop creatures and get us here. No, just another Fate Rigging. Okay, so we could get rid of one of them with Glissa. But now they could have a 4-drop, of course. Yeah, let's go like this. Plus Alteration, okay. And, eeny, miny, meeny, mo. Doesn't really matter too much what we get here. I think I'm just going to go after the first one. Okay, sweet. Yeah, Glissa is definitely really good in this matchup. Do we want anything else? Don't think so. Yeah, you know, having like the 5th Fatal Push against a Llanowar Elf Elvish Mystic deck is really, really nice, of course. It's a really good hand as well. Thoughtseize, so they probably take what? Bloodchief's Thirst? Cheval? Maybe just Shield Druid? Don't mind them having this though. Yeah, taking Shield Druid, yeah, it's definitely fine by me. We're down to 5 cards. Tameo Safekeeping. So if we take Safekeeping, they go Elf, Elf. Let's just take the Demon. I think I just want to be playing Cheval next turn, so I was thinking like, oh, we could leave second Thoughtseize for the Demon, but I think we just want to get Cheval on the battlefield next turn. This turn they could just go Elf, Elf. Now I guess we could go Thoughtseize, Bloodchief's Thirst, try to keep them off another 4-drop. But to really punish us, they would need to have land plus 4-drop. Let's just go with the Cheval, I think. Yeah. I guess land plus 4-drop plus Safekeeping. We can't even beat that because we're not able to cast Thirst next turn anyways. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. Just play Trespasser. Desecration Demon is such a sweet card. Really just so sweet. Okay, there's a fight rigging, but no creature to get it flipped yet, or I guess get the hideaway triggered yet. Okay, and land, I think, allows us to just play Shieldred here. And I think I will offer up the double block trade here. Yeah, didn't think they would do it for that. And now, if they have top deck 6 power creature, then we may be in tough shape. Otherwise, we're in really good shape. Okay, yeah, that's kind of like oftentimes what happens in this matchup. It just kind of comes down to the top decks. If they have it, then they have it. If they don't, then we're just really having a controlling presence over them. And yeah, Golgari Charm, just really, really good for us. I think I'm just going to thirst this, leave up Charm. Yeah, and then actually -1/-1, which would be pretty interesting. But want to get Safekeeping out of the hand so we can Charm the fight rigging now. And I will just pass turn now. Should have done this on upkeep because they could have another Safekeeping, or just on my turn, right? Because we could potentially just get blown out here, but okay, they just don't have it, luckily enough, and yeah, we get that one pretty nicely. Okay, match number 5, playing for the 3-2. Have a keepable hand on the draw, nothing too fancy. Up against a Gigantha deck though. Chef at Dunes, Gigantha. Giant Killer. Not sure what this is. Okay. Oh, this is just Convoke, right? Yeah, okay. Ooh, the last hope. That's really nice. I think I'm just gonna power word kill this pretty easily. Of course, in this matchup, we know that keeping the board as clear as possible is the way to go. And we have come prepared with the Path of Perils, Charm, and Extinction Events. Actually, if they're on the Clarion Spirit build, we can even bring in Noxious Grasp. Okay, Ornithopter plus Bushwhacker, that's not too terrifying. 3 cards in hand. So we could go Liliana plus the Bushwhacker. Seems pretty good. Liliana of the Veil is pretty bad in this matchup though, I will say. Okay, yeah, and last hope can pretty easily get rid of this these 1/1s here. So should we go after the token or the 1/1? Don't think it matters too much. I'll just go after the 1/1. And can honestly start Liliana plussing, but I think I just want to go Trespasser. Start, you know, having some sort of a clock or pressure against them. If Liliana ultimate isn't pressure enough. This is 7? Yeah, 7. Okay. Did they attack us last turn then? It's kind of crazy. And Trespasser against Giant Killer is definitely fine for us, right? With Ward. Okay. Ooh, plus a Convoke. It's pretty good. Ornithopter and Loxodon, okay. Pretty scary. It's plus. And I think we'd probably just go Wayfinder plus Skews. Otherwise, we're Liliana plussing, which is not doing too much. We can just go Skews by itself, but I think let's just get down the 2 creatures. And then try to protect this Liliana, I suppose. Because they can Convoke the Loxodon, which, you know, it just kind of gives us an extra turn. Then at that point, of the Veil minus isn't the worst. Because it gets rid of a 2/2. Then we get plus with the Last Hope to nullify one of their other 2/2s. But we'll see what they do here. Okay, they're just gonna do that, pump their whole team. Don't even want to attack with this turn, I suppose. They drew their third land finally. And they're going to put you on the hand. Okay. Oops. Ooh, forgot to get scoos there. F6 too fast. Whoopsies. Hopefully that doesn't cost us anything. So yeah, let's just go. I guess plus there. Land. Minus. Ooh, I should have. Yeah, I should have. That was a bit of a punch. I obviously should have plus with the last hope after edicting. Whoopsies. I guess we do get rid of the giant killer, which is something, but yeah, not the best there. I know we could trade. We could have, you know, not traded there if we activated Scoos last turn, which is a little disappointing. Oh, into a bushwhacker, so good. Wow. Wow. Jeez. So they're gonna keep the last hope off ultimating, then everything else at me. So let's I guess go like that. If this was a 3-3, it would have been a lot in better a lot better shape. I suppose probably should just like go like that. Then we're taking 14, gain 3. Still not really ideal. Guess we're gonna have to do that though. Another Liliana. Okay. So I think, did it again. My bad, you guys. Oh, and messed this up as well. Jeez. Playing a bit too quickly. So yeah, my bad. Yeah, and now we're just dead on board. Okay. I mean, even with that misplay there, I don't think we're coming back from that. Yeah, we do get a lot post board though, which is nice. It's just such a difficult matchup. Of the Veils are really bad, and then I think just cutting the Thoughtseize is probably the way to go. Okay, game number 2. Let's play a bit tighter. Let's try to at least. It is a difficult matchup to play. But yeah, I guess I'm also just not used to playing with the last hope either. Okay, we could keep this. Okay, I think I will actually push this. We have a lot of removal in hand. Excuse me, in hand. I think I'm just going to be wanting to play Wayfinder this turn anyways. Okay, so they probably have a reinforcements here. Ooh, Last Hope is an interesting draw. So if they have reinforcements, I guess we can't do anything about it because we don't have any instant speed removal. They could have a Convoke though, is the thing here. So I think I'll still attack. Although they could drop the last hope down to 2 by me doing this. Scoos. Don't think I want that. Don't really have that much green mana right now. I could just play Trespasser. Maybe that's better. Then Extinction kind of gets a little awkward. They're gonna have evens. Not really sure. I think I'll actually go for the Trespasser. Just on a naked board, playing the last hope feels a bit strange to me, so I think this is a bit better. It's very proactive, of course. Kind of forces them to have something here. At the very least, we could try to draw a land and like kick a Bloodchief's Thirst for a Convoke creature. But yeah, we're just kind of making our Extinction Event more and more awkward. Oh no, do they have Convoke after all of this? Of course they do. Okay, no, Trespasser. That Trespasser play was really bad for us. Because we want to be Extinction Eventing on odd now. Where'd they get? 2 more Convokes. Jeez. Oh, what? I thought a Graveyard did that. Wow, okay, now we're just like really insanely out of the game with not drawing 4th land. Jeez. Such an insane deck. Yeah, I guess I go after an even creature here. It's such like an insane draw from them. Oh my god. Man, I wish Damnation was legal. There's like a 5-mana Damnation, Crux of Fate, I think it's called, but I don't think we're playing that. Knight Errant. Yeah, Damnation here would be so good. Right now, Extinction Event on odd is like fine. Yeah, probably not going to be doing much if we're not even able to hit the 4th land, right? They just have pushback next turn. Okay, I'm just going to concede. Really tough matchup. They had really good starts both games, but it's okay. See you guys for the wrap up. Okay, post-league, I really liked the Mox Ambers. The Mox Ambers were just really, really good for us. I could probably see cutting at Chevel, just because in a couple of matchups he wasn't the best. Had a really, really close Lotus Field matchup and a really close P and Nalaar matchup as well. So I don't mind getting the 2-3, although it is pretty unfortunate for today. What I would change, the Wayfinders are pretty decent, although like a little bit underwhelming. I wouldn't really play any other 2-drop, I feel like. However, yeah, I guess it's just like the 3rd Chevel is kind of like the questionable spot for us. Let me know what you guys would play in place of a card like this in the 2-drop slot. I think I liked all the removal suite. The Thirst was actually really good. Last Hub was really good. Of the Veil was pretty decent as well, and I think I liked all the other creatures, and the sideboard was fine. I think with how close that Lotus Field matchup was, I don't think we need to change anything, for that, despite losing. Yeah, and we also kind of messed up the sideboarding that one game where we kept in the Chevels. Yeah, I think that's fine. Convoke is really hard, although I think we do have a pretty, decent game plan against them with the, 5 Wrath effects. Could see cutting an Extinction Event for an extra Path of Peril, though. Like, Extinction Event just hasn't been the best. And again, I haven't been seeing too much mono green. And with the amount of removal we do have in the main deck, maybe it's not too necessary that we have this. So I'll think about that. But yeah, see you guys for the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you're doing well. And yeah, see you guys for the next one.